Dude, this is the second time I see a street sharks in public. This is nuts. If they're really making a comeback, shoot, this is amazing. Welcome back to DwreckTV. This is Dwreck, and I wasn't really planning on making a video like this, but I think it's for a very special occasion. I just recently went to the pawn shop and I found something that I was not expecting. I found an NES for $100. Came with the controllers and it came with AC power, AC cables, and AC unit, and the coax connector. And yep, as you can see, I still got the wraps for it. It says it had the power cords, got all that, all for $109, but they sold it for me for $100 because they had just put it out today. So lucky me. And you probably can't see or nothing, or probably can't even smell, but when I open this up, it smells like straight freaking weed. Oh my god. Whoever had this was a freaking burnout, I can tell you that. And look, it's still got the old maintenance number. Yep, we got the old maintenance number and everything. This is pretty cool. And let's try this out, huh? I got the power adapter. This is definitely not the same power adapter for that came with the system, as you can see. You're probably wondering, why would I spend $100 on a Nintendo entertainment system even though I already own one? Well, I just couldn't let it sit there. Turn the TV on. Let's put it on with I'm gonna use my AC cables. I'm gonna use my AV cables. All right, let's try with a game. My Super Mario Brothers. I'm not gonna put the controllers on it right now. The hell? These aren't original NES controllers. No, they're not. These are freaking off-brand ones. Holy crap! Yeah, look. This is not original NES controllers. Yeah, for real, look. These are not real NES controllers. Y'all give me a second. This is a real NES controller. As you can see. See, it's got the Nintendo logo. And this just feels very glossy. It feels kind of rough. This just feels a little smoother. And also you can see on the back how it's got the Nintendo logos on it, and it's got that as plain. Yep. On one of these things, I'm pretty sure these work, but either way, let's try this out. All right, let's see if this thing, they say it works, so let's try it out. I'll be the judge of that. As expected. As expected. I'm not going to blow on it. Yep. I'm not blowing in this. Oh, we getting some. We getting some. I know you can't. Sorry about that, but y'all. Let's see. We're getting somewhere. Well, we were getting somewhere. Oh. We getting there. But this definitely These controllers. The hell's wrong with these controllers? Let's try an original Nintendo. Something's wrong. I was getting somewhere. It's definitely a piece of garbage, I can tell you that. I didn't pick. Wow, did you see that? Alright. Yeah, this thing is garbage. Let's try another one. Let's try Strider. I could tell that this thing is not. Look at that. It's like it wants to play, but it looks too. Yeah, this thing's very. I could tell this thing's very dirty. I could tell this thing was never kept up, and by the smell of it, it definitely was not in a good. It was definitely not in a good place. So that being said, I can already tell you, after refurbishing my own NES, that sliding them in it just feels like it slides in. It doesn't feel like it grabs onto the game cartridge right away. Oh my god. Yeah, whoever owned this was a freaking burnout. But I will definitely make a video. I'm going to try refurbishing this. I'll refurbish it myself if I have to. Because aside from the smell, it looks like it'd be good. And it looks like it would play. It will play. It does work. But it's definitely going to need some cleaning. I'm going to have to clean it out. I can already see some dust right here. It looks beat up. Like, it looks like it's been, as you can see, like, you can see all the scratches, the marks on it. This thing looks like it's been through some moving. Chipped on the side. Yep. This thing definitely has seen some shit. Excuse my language, but still. I don't know when I might get to it, but I will do a full refurbish, or at least attempt to, again, and see what we can muster up and see if we can try to save this thing. So, stay tuned.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do dogs chase cats?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Okay, let's see how we're going to do this. It's been a while since I've done something like this. So, this is what we're going to do. Got all the stuff here. Alright. Let's get this thing open. I'm not going to record the whole thing. I'm just going to... Okay, I got all the screws out from the bottom. Let's take a gander at what we're looking at here. Looks pretty clean to me. I'm surprised. Despite the smell of it, well, they got some dust around here. Yeah. I think the smell of the weed kind of subsided. All right, let's get these screws off of here, and we're gonna see how it looks inside. Okay, I got the screws off. Now let's take this off. Whoop, forgot about those. All right, now let's take this off. It actually looks clean. I'm surprised. I am very surprised. But we definitely gotta get this off of here because, and also what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get underneath the motherboard of it and disconnect one of those lockout chips. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and these two right here have to go right there because these are like the longer ones as opposed to these ones. So let's take them out. Okay, we got the screws out, and as you can see, those silver screws are slightly longer than the bronze ones. So those two have to go back right here and right here. So let's put these to the side. Now, this should come off. Yes, and it does. I am surprised that this thing is so clean. I really am. Now, let's take this off. Because everything's got to go back the way it was. There you go. Alright, let's take this out. Should slide off. Slide off slightly. There we go. Come on. Well, this is got a little dust right here. I can just do it. I'm surprised. That is as clean as it is. Can't wait to look at this. 32 pin connector. Slides off. Yep. They don't look that dirty, but you can definitely tell that these pins are not up. Now, I've seen a lot of videos where they take a pin, like a little pin like this, and they come up on each of the 72 pins. Just slightly, just to where it can get the grip, because that's why the games aren't that's why it slide in so easily, because it's supposed to grab onto these pins, and if it can't grab it, it's not going to get a good connection. So I'm going to do this, and also I'm going to take some 400 grit sandpaper. I think it's 200 grit. Either way, 200 grit sandpaper. I'm going to scrub it all up, and I'm going to boil in some hot water. And I'll explain to that in a little bit. Okay, I did the row. I'm going to show y'all a little how I do it. I don't know if you can probably see. All right, you got to get underneath it and just boop. Just give it a little chit. Get up in there, then boop. And up. Just to where its point is touching up or just a little bit, but you want to make sure that every one of them is up. And this one wants to be a little stubborn. Okay, all the pins are up. Now I'm going to take the sandpaper, just like a little this, like so, and then get all up in there. It gets rid of all the condensation and all the residue buildup from over the years, especially from people blowing in it, because that definitely will cause a lot more troubles than it does. All right, now I'm going to dump this in some boiling hot water. Like that. Alright. There's the water pot. I'm going to put in like this, like so. Don't got to worry about it because nothing's on is electronic. We're going to let that boil for about a few minutes, and we're going to come back to it. Okay, now, in order for us to not make it flicker, we got to take out what's called the lockout chip. And it's on the back right here. It's the 3193A chip right here. This one. Now we got to get behind it. Now we got to go, it's going to be right here at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got to wedge it in underneath. I know y'all probably can't see it on camera, but just got to wedge it in there and then just pull it back like so. Come on. Alright, that took longer than it needed to. So, as you can see right here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, that socket's out of the 3193A chip. So we're not going to have no more blinking screens no more. And from what I've seen in this whole console, it is very, very clean. I'm super impressed. Besides from a few dust and everything looks in working order. So we can put this back, and we're gonna clean this out. We're gonna clean this out real good for when we put the 72 pin connector back on. Now, what we're gonna do with the 72 pin connector, we're just gonna take some rubbing alcohol. Just bought a brand new bottle, and we're gonna dip it into the rubbing alcohol. And we're gonna give it some dabs. We're gonna do it in the front and on the back. Oh my goodness. Already look how dirty this is. Already. Well, not only that, this thing never sees the light of day, but still. Clean this off real good on the bottom as well. Now we're gonna get a cloth, and we're going to dry that down a little bit. So we're gonna dry it off. The water's already boiling. I can see it. I can hear it. And normally what I do as well, what I do with my NES cartridges, we're gonna do this too. Eraser on it, up and down, and we're gonna get a little bit more, rub off some fresh alcohol. Golly, look at that. This is filthy. Clean this real good. Man, absolutely filthy. All right, that should do it. Now we're gonna put this back in, and we're gonna go check on that 72 pin connector in the boiling water. Yeah, you gotta make sure these things all lined up at the bottom as well. Ah, come on. And let's get this 32 pin connector out. I think we should let this dry off for a little bit. Ow! Yeah, hot. Now let's take a gander at this thing. Yeah, it's still hot. I'm not gonna put it on just yet. Looks pretty good. Looks good. All right, it's still kind of warm. I'm not gonna put it on there just yet, but I will put it on there as soon as it starts cooling off a little more and let it dry off a little bit. I'm probably gonna put it over one of my vents to let it cool off and dry up a little bit. So I shall return. We'll be right back after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The way I see it, all synthetic oils are the same.
Think with your dipstick, Jimmy!
Aren't all synthetic oils the same?
Think with your dipstick, Jimmy!
Synthetics or synthetics?
Jimmy!
Castrol Edge. I'm gonna try this.
Ow! No, that's thinking with your dipstick!
So why did you hit me?
Because you were thinking with your dipstick, Jimmy!
Think with your dipstick. Upgrade to new Castrol Edge. With 8 times better wear protection than Mobile One 5W30. It's more than just oil, it's liquid engineering.
Okay, After all that time, I think this is dry enough. Don't feel no cold, don't feel hot. All right, let's put this back on. Slide it back on like so, like we did before. Gotta give it some. There you go. Come on. There we go. Lined up with the screw top. Yep, everything's lined up. And this wants to be freaking. Yeah. It's the bottom part that's right here. See, this is what's giving me the trouble. It's gotta line up like this, and then now let's get this back on, like so. All right, now let's put these screws. Like we said before, the silver one's got to go on right here, and the silver one's got to go right here and right here. So let's take care of all that. Right. What caused me to refurbish my old Nintendo was because, as everybody knows, the NES was synonymous for not working half the time and everybody blowing in it and everything. And when it did work, it was one of the greatest things ever. But whenever we got a Super Nintendo, that pretty much was a fun time as well. But I did keep my NES for the longest time, and sometimes we played it, sometimes we wouldn't. Then, I want to say around 2010, well, 2009 first, I tried to open it up and try to fix it myself without looking up at with no proper knowledge, and I just never got back to it, and I just left it. Then, around 2010, I wound up buying a Hyperkin. I don't remember where I got the Hyperkin, but I do know that when I got it, that's when I started playing my old NES games again. That's when I started buying games off eBay. My very first game that I bought off eBay was Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, because my friend from elementary school had it and he was telling me about it. But then I played that Hyperkin for years. I had it for a good 10 years. I was able to play all my NES games again. So, exactly what happened to that Hyperkin? Well, for one, as fun as that Hyperkin was to play all my NES games again, it was very tough to put games in and pull games out. Oh boy, speaking of tough, this is going to be a tough one to put in. So much so, crud. Alright, I got it. I'll get to that later. Anyway, let's move on. Anyway, so much so, it was tough to get games out of the Hyperkin. It felt like it was about to felt like I was about to pull something that wasn't supposed to be pulled for the longest time. And then one day, I finally pulled the game out, and one of the grips on its 32-pin connector came off, and I couldn't fix it. And after 10 years of having that Hyperkin, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I thought, you know what? I wanted to see if I could try to revive my NES. So I did some research, like anyone would do. I found at least 8 to 10 videos of how to refurbish an NES, and a lot of them said the same thing. So that's what I did. I followed the instructions. I took it apart, took out the 32 pin connector, and cleaned out the 32 pins. I pulled them up with the pick and boiled them in hot water. Pulled out that part on that lockout chip, and for the most part, it plays. And I never had any more problems with it since then. Knock on wood. And I also was able to clean out all of my game cartridges real good. And they all play like brand new. And since then, playing on my NES has been... It felt like... It was like reliving my old days. But also like... getting back lost time, if that makes any sense. Come on. It's like taking back lost time. And I was playing on that thing for days, months. It was super cool to play on that NES again. My original one. Alright, let's skip. I'm almost done with this, man. I'm really hoping that this works. Because I did do this on another NES that a relative of mine had, and it didn't really work. I think it must have been something else that was wrong with it besides the 32 pin connectors. But if this doesn't work, then at least I tried. Sometimes this works, sometimes it won't, but I'm really hoping that it does work. But I'm not making any promises. Okay, all the screws are in. Weed smell's gone. Alright, let's go try this out. Okay, there's the system. See? Let's hook it up. Power. Audio, video. Right. We're going to use the controller that it came with. And we're going to try my Super Mario Brothers. And what did I tell you? Look at that! Look at that! Isn't that great? Ah! That same NES! What did I tell you? That same broken down NES. It works! Woo! I'm excited. I really am. Let's see if anything else will work on it. Let's try some Mega Man 2. Yep, as you can see. Oh yeah. Y'all know what I'm gonna be doing. This is Dwreck signing out. See y'all on the flip side.